Would everybody please stand and join me in the pledge of allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the symbol of perfect friendship among many cultures.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Richard Primrose.
Here.
Ms. Teresa Stevenson.
Here.
Mr. Tom Sidwell.
Here.
Mr. Jimmy Sandoval.
Here.
Mr. Goldberg.
Here.
Thank you. Next is approval of the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Any additions or deletions?
Do we need to add that for the legal service contract?
We have it. It's down there. It says
I just put the wrong attachment.
agreement for the attorney, but
Okay,
the
okay,
Under D?
that's what it is, okay.
yes, we had the CDO agreement twice,
Yes.
but it is
I'm
on the
sorry, but it was on the agenda.
agenda correctly.
Yeah, okay. I move to approve the agenda.
I second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
Mr. Fox.
Yes.
And Mr. Primrose.
Yes.
And the motion carried.
Next is comments by the public. Were there any
No, sir.
requests for comments? Next would be the approval of the minutes for our regular board meeting on June 24th. Has everybody had an opportunity to look at the minutes, or are there any additions, deletions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from June 24 meeting.
Second.
Could have a motion and a second. Roll
Okay.
call, please.
Mr. Sidwell.
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval.
Yes.
Mr. Fox.
Yes.
Mr. Primrose.
Yes.
And Ms. Stevenson.
Yes.
And the motion carried.
Chairman's report. I don't have anything to report. So we'll go to the president's report. Dr. Moss.
Mr. Chairman, let me think here a second. You all have my report. I was trying to think if there was any additions to what I'd already sent. Still on for July 29th for the Office of State Auditor to present the final report to you all as an entire board. That'll be at 2:00. Again, still there's no surprises. I think we've all heard the different things that are in that report, and it is available on the Office of State Auditor's website. Budget, I still haven't heard anything back. When I sent this report last week, as far as we know, everything's fine. So we'll wait and see if HED or DFA comes back with anything.
They only gave you less than 24 hours to make the changes on your day off.
Yeah, and I don't know if I put this in here or not, but so Ms. Sharmer got a call, so we got those submitted Friday morning. She got a call from a member of HED and said, we're going to extend your deadline. Well, by then we already had the corrections made. And evidently this happened, I think I put this in here, but pretty much every college budget was returned. And I would imagine many of them had much more issues with them than ours did, but I don't know that specifically. But they've actually given till July 15th, which I guess is today, to get those in. And, I told them when I sent it in, I need to know as quickly as possible if there's any issues with this, But if they come back with some, we'll just work through it. I'll reach out to, HED and Vanessa Hawker with NIMIC that we're a part of has been extremely helpful in this. She has some knowledge of higher ed finance and the budgeting. And so that, like I mentioned at the last meeting, her being the director of that organization is worth every penny that we pay for it. So, yeah. The endowment report, still haven't seen the LFC agenda, but I'm anticipating that'll be on the 24th, and I will go to that not that we will have to say anything. I haven't had a chance. I got the modified report this morning. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I'm hoping they added some positive things in there. Ours, I feel like there's nothing that they could really pull apart. The $2 million we put with the Office of State Treasurer, we've used that money to help build our program, our nursing program. And so anyway, we'll see the results of that. A couple other things I'd add. The document I just gave you is something we've worked on with HLC, or with Mr. Sanderson. Ms. Sharmer helped put, we looked at the data, kind of like, one thing we didn't have, well, we didn't even have a current financial information, but we sure didn't have any projections when HLC was here 2 years ago. So this is kind of a pro forma budget for 26, 27 and 27, 28. So, we're getting to the point now where, okay, we can look ahead 1, 2, 3 years, and where do we see our finances at? And that's something HLC wants to see, because they want to know that a college looks good for the next 2 or 3 years. The other part is kind of a step towards strategic planning. We know we don't really have the time or capacity right now to go through the entire strategic planning process, and that would involve, staff, faculty with the college, community members, you all as a board. But we needed something to say, okay, here's what our focus is right now and maybe in the near future, and here's where we're looking to start doing our strategic planning. And that's something that we need for when they visit with HLC. So look, I've intended to get this on as an agenda item, forgot about it, but look it over, and if you see anything that doesn't look right, or you think might need to be modified a little bit, I started a page with some data and some things that I feel like we're looking at. Mr. Sanderson looked it over and made some changes, modifications to fit more what he thinks HLC will be looking at. And so that's what we come up with. Went to Mountain States Association of Community Colleges this past weekend. Actually got to meet and visit with, I won't pronounce his name right, Jihong Lee, who's the president of ACCT. He presented some updated federal financial information. I don't know if you guys could read it or not, so if not, I'll resend that. I did it from my phone, I think, and sometimes things don't transfer very well like that. Also talked with him about the potential of doing, the state's now going to require mandatory training for all boards of trustees, regents. I think HED is making plans to provide that training themselves, but I am going to kind of try to gently push that I think the training from ACCT would be more effective. And I visit with some of the other NIMIC schools in the state who also have a good relationship with ACCT, and so we'll see if, what comes of that. Another thing I learned was every state in that organization, and that's Oregon, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, and a few schools in Nebraska. Every state has issues at the state level. They're not like ours. Most of them are looking at budget deficits, but they have, some of them don't have like a common course numbering system, and so a community college can offer, say, a college algebra class that won't be accepted by the university in the same state. So it kind of made me feel a little better. We have our own problems here in New Mexico, but everybody else has just as equal problems. It's just different. So it was interesting. It was just a conference of college presidents, and you didn't have any higher ed institute governing bodies or HLC or anything like that, and so a lot of good conversations about things that are going on in different states. And obviously the salary survey that they do is that they consider that probably the most valuable tool of that conference. So
What's the general feeling with the Department of Education, what's going on there? Was that ever discussed as far as what the impact that's going to have?
So that was the bulk of what Mr. Lee talked about. In fact, he kept getting texts and calls while he was talking to us. He said, "That's from my assistant," and they're still going through all that. So obviously, DEI is the diversity, equity, inclusion. That's something that everybody's having to take a look at. Some of them are just modifying what they currently have so that it meets the qualifications of the federal government. The financial aid, when it came out of the House, it was really not looking very good because it was in a sense requiring a higher number of hours to be considered a full-time student. And Ms. Gonzalez might know some of this too. It was, I think, a higher number on half-time students, and I don't think unless you were half-time you could get any financial aid. The Senate has kind of eased up on some of that stuff. They also included some workforce money that everybody seemed pretty happy about. So that's not a great answer. I think no one really knows what's going to happen. Obviously, for us, the main funding we're concerned about is our financial aid, Pell, and stuff. Then there's some legislative funding that we are still working on. The induction furnace that we got a couple years ago, we're still working through that. We got a new guy at the federal government who's requested a bunch more information. And then we're looking to see if we can get some federal money for the turbine. What's going to happen with, let's say if the Department of Education just dissolved, where would like your civil rights and ADA, that's probably not the right terms for those divisions, but where are those going to end up? I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts more on the federal? So it's really still a watch and see. Yeah.
On that, I was going to mention it later on, but I did send everybody a couple of emails from ACCT, and one of them was talking about the big beautiful bill, and the other is some training on what's going to happen federally.
Well, it seemed like that one, if I read it right, they was was gonna let the students work part-time a little bit and still be eligible for some Pell Grant,
Yeah, they look
so
like
that they
the
can
Pell-
come
I
up with a
think that's
little
the way it came
additional
out.
aid.
Anyway, the ACC does talk about the new bill, and, but it hasn't, I haven't seen a whole lot of.
Yeah.
on
You know, the
cutting of
the federal government also, is kind of pushing some things on accreditation, like to make more groups eligible to be accreditors, to ease the restrictions on transferring to different accrediting bodies. And of course, on that, HLC has said we're already for that, so it's not a big impact.
just see if the states can make up some of that
Uh,
A little
that
more
was-
in a year.
differences, yeah.
That was a big discussion because, you know, there aren't very many states that have the luxury that New Mexico has of having a surplus. And so for many of them, when they lose any federal funding, that means they're gonna have to pull it from someplace else, or lose it. Whereas at least right now, you know, New Mexico has a little bit of extra to cover some of it if they want to. What LFC is saying, or I've heard, is that, you know, they're really kind of taking a wait and see approach. I don't think they will fill in all the gaps, but you know, they're kind of looking at it to see what they might supplement if it happens. And I don't think those really start till 27, a lot of those cuts, so.
All right. Any other questions for Dr. Moss? If not, we'll move on to the civility contract with Kathy Elliott.
So, I think I'd mentioned to you all, I talked with the foundation, and they voted at their last meeting to do a couple things. I'll go over it real quickly. In a sense, us take over the lobbying or government liaison, or whatever you want to call it, into our budget. We would not bill them in this current year, 25-26, for half of Ms. Graff's salary, but we still provide the 20 hours a week of her time for the foundation work, and that they would, you know, pull back on the cost of those leases, but where we keep them so that our insurance would still fall into that, because we'll still use those facilities. And so this is one of those, this is part of that. I would like to continue using Miss Elliott, her firm, at least this year. And then we can reevaluate it next year. The agreement does have, I think, a 30-day notice if we decide it's just not working. I think she has really good connections with Cinder Woods and Representative Chatfield. But she added someone last year to her staff that has a little more connections on the other side, the Democrat side. She made some good connections when we were up there at Santa Fe as a group for Quay Day, and I think it will improve. Maybe instead of her like kind of going through the foundation and the foundation then talking to me and vice versa, with us just having direct communication. I've already visited with her about our needs for this year, such as maybe some individual requests from Cinder Woods and Representative Chatfield for some vehicles. You know, what we're looking at for capital outlay. and then also about our wind turbines. She also did a lot of work in getting us connected with the EDA. That's on hold right now, and they are not probably looking at supporting a wind project under the current federal guidelines or guidance. But I think this past year went a lot better than what I saw the first year. And again, I attribute some of that to me, maybe not getting my communication to her so that she could work from it. But that's my recommendation. And also, would like to have her, compile just a short report to add to the board report each month so that you all are aware of, what she worked on and what she did or contacts she made.
I agree. I think she did a good job last year. I worked with her for some time, and I think not having to transfer money back and forth from the foundation to the college will work out a lot better, and then she has one person to talk to. Good. Any other questions about the contract? Or suggestions? Changes? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve contract for Mesalands.
I make a motion that we approve the contract between the college and Civility.
Second.
The motion is second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
and Mr. Sigler.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, next is the June 2025 financial report.
If you all have any questions on that, just, I'm trying to pull it up real quick, but. I would say, I can't remember if I mentioned this to you or not, we did get notice that we are gonna receive that other money from the ERC credit. So that's gonna be at about, by the time we pay Sheridan Wealth, it's gonna be another about 400,000. And so almost 800,000 that we weren't really looking for. Again, thanks to Mr. Box for pointing that out in the Board of Trustees quarterly. But that's probably close to half, at least, of our negative fund balance that we incurred in 22-23. So, that's just gonna help us look better and better on our reporting. So, that's exciting. Our EFOP report, we're running a little over 2 million, 2.1, 2.3, but we still have some things to add to that. We are finishing up billing for some HB2 State Board of Finance. We're gonna try to get all that done by Friday, or at least know what the amounts are and a timeline when those are gonna be done. We're gonna be able to bill about 95% of the 24 audit in that. We're gonna get reimbursed. I don't think we have yet for the special audit final costs. There's some HERF money to draw down, so that's on top. And then, we haven't even started to draw any of the money for like the 450,000 to support our nursing program for last year and this year. The 250 per year for nursing will be split up on our appropriation. So we will get that without having to do anything. But, it's like I said I think I've said a couple times, I think now we need to start looking at adding maybe some CDs, to, I would say, maybe somewhere between 500,000 and $1 million, because we're keeping around 2 million in the bank right now, and it's not earning as much as needs. So maybe maybe August. I can't promise how quickly anything's gonna happen right now, but, or September, I think we need to consider putting some more money into CDs.
Especially if we get that second payment.
Yeah, and usually it comes in, so it was supposed to go out the 14th, and I think it's maybe 2 weeks after that date, so we could potentially see that before the end of July. So.
Any other questions on the financial report? I mean, like Dr. Moss says, the cash looks good and we can, budget looks good for this year. The budget looks good for this year and next
Keeps
year.
getting better.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I know everybody's tired, but I think we're still making progress, so.
well, all the hard work for the staff in college and Dr. Moss has really helped out, so. I entertain a motion. If there's not any questions, more questions on the financial report?
I so move that we approve the financial report.
A second.
We got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Box?
Yes.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
And Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
And the motion carried.
All right, next is the purchase requisition for NMICC. Dr. Moss indicated how much this helped. So it sounds like this, even though they've gone up, it's beneficial to the college. And is there any questions or concerns? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve this this purchase requisition for $20,000.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase requisition, $20,000.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. A roll call, please.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
And Mr. Box?
Yes.
And the motion carried.
Next, the purchase requisition for annual risk insurance. Is this an increase from last year?
It's around 30,000, I think. They actually increased last year, but I think something came off of ours that reduced it. But this year we're hit with I think it's around 15% increase, and we also saw an increase in our health insurance. Not that much, but yeah, it's an increase.
So I knew it wasn't going to be a decrease, but I knew the answer, but I didn't know how much. But insurance goes up.
I know ours went up.
And it's something we've got to have, so entertain a motion to approve the insurance for the year.
That's so moved.
I move to approve the requisitions for the risk insurance.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
Mr. Box?
Yes.
And Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
And the motion carried.
All right. Next on the agenda is Mr. Kaiser.
And he is not here. He is supposed to have his head buried in the program evaluation for HLC. So If you guys have any questions on his report, I will try to answer them.
Don't have any questions. Again, that was the summer adventure camp, I think was really good, and he's got a breakdown, at least it doesn't cost us anything. And, I think the community really enjoys that. Hopefully we can continue.
It said that it was down. Do you know why it was so, down so much?
What's that?
The, adventure camp.
Adventure camp.
I don't know.
Well, there's it has to do with advertising, getting information out, I would imagine. So that more people would know about it in advance, getting those things that we put together at a better time. Getting the pricing out so that people knew what the price was as well. I think those things really contributed to the low numbers that they had.
I think that's what he said in his report
Oh.
too.
Okay.
That, he thought the advertising was,
Oh, okay.
Needed to be
I
earlier.
guess I didn't quite see that.
so next would be the, professional service agreement for the CDL examiner. This is the same gentleman that's been doing that since I've been here.
Yeah.
And, with the additional funding, we should be increasing, hopefully.
Well, so the funding is to go toward equipment. And what we're hoping to do is add now the training. All he does is the testing. And so this is basically an estimate of what the cost that we'll pay him for the testing and setup of the testing side. Now, that is tracked, and so if for some reason we have half the number this year that we did last year, it won't be anywhere near that amount. But, this is a little bit separate. Even like the workforce money that we get from HED, it could be used toward training, but can't cover the testing part, so.
So this is just for the testing. Any questions on this agreement? If not, I entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve this.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Sidwell?
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval?
Yes.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Primrose?
Yes.
And Ms. Stevenson?
Yes.
And motion carried.
Next is Mr. McVeigh.
Thank you, good afternoon. So we've had a short period of time in between. We continue to essentially do as we've communicated previously regarding activities that have been ongoing. I will highlight News Channel 10 from Amarillo had come, and they did interviews with us, but they've also helped us with filming for commercials. And so we've been able to utilize them that way. We plan on also utilizing them for something called First Cup, which is a morning show. We've done this in the past with our nursing program, but we'll continue to do that as well with them for other programs that we have as well. As you can see from the report, again, we've continued on with tours and athletics. We're really excited about our teams that are coming together. Golf has 3 coming back, I believe, and then 1 more being added to that. Actually, 4 more.
4 returning, 1 new.
Excuse me, 4 returning, 1 new. Thank you. 4 returning, 1 new. Rodeo looks like they have 17 that are recruited. We're registering all of them as well for classes, so very excited to see the progress in those areas. But if you have any questions about what I've put together in the report, I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Any questions for Mr. McVeigh? not.
Thank you.
Thank you. Start another year, huh?
Yes, here we go. We're having a big dive.
Thanks a lot. Next, Mr. Martinez.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Finally was able to get in contact with the adjuster for our insurance claim from May of 2023. A little bit delayed, but I was able to meet with him and another gentleman that they contract with to get an overall scope and kind of an update on some of the other projects. So the first was the roof over the library in Building A was 100% within the scope, but it's just a limited area strictly directly over the library. There's also going to be the roof replacement of this building here, Building G. Originally, I didn't think there was going to be any work done to the Dinosaur Museum. He stated that we should be receiving within the next couple of weeks, roughly around $10,000 to pressure wash the old paint off the Dinosaur Museum building, specifically the south and the west corners of the building, the old center block that has the paint peeling. So the expectations now are to go through, hire a contractor once we receive the check, go through the procurement process, have them pressure wash that, and go back and actually seal the block appropriately. Right now, I didn't have the correct type of paint on there, so what we want to do is put some block sealer to seal that block, and then go back with an elastomeric paint to help seal it a little bit better. There's also going to be some repairs to Building B, which used to be the old Building Chains building from what I was told, the old wood shop behind the maintenance shop. That's included as well. And then insurance will be contacting the contractor, Mooring and Company, I believe is their name, to begin the work in the interior of Building E, the wind energy building. That had been prolonged for quite some time. We were waiting for the roof to be repaired there. The roof's been repaired for some time. I believe at the last meeting I mentioned the contractor came back and addressed some of the punch list items that needed to be completed. That's completely done. So now we'll be able to have this other contractor go into the interior and replace the paneling that was within the Big Bay area and go from there. All the HVAC units were installed. There were 3 units installed at the Dinosaur Museum building and 7 on Building A, the main building. And all of the drawdown requests were submitted for BR&R. Don't think I mentioned it at the last meeting. It probably wasn't appropriate at the time, but HED had reached back out to me and let me know that we actually were allocated more funds than I was aware of for BR&R. So last week I amended one of the drawdowns and included some purchases we had throughout the year that were eligible to get us up to that new dollar amount. I think it was about roughly around $30,000 extra, which is good. So we should be reimbursed those funds instead of coming out of our general maintenance fund, which is really good. That's been most of it within the past couple of weeks. The museum and the bookstore were busy doing inventory, getting hard counts on everything, so they were closed for quite a bit, longer than expected. We're having some difficulties with the software. Custodian position interviews have been taking place. We have another one tomorrow. Sounds like those have been going well. I've also been sitting in on interviews for an HR specialist. Those have been going well as well. And IT's been working on integration of Canvas for the nursing program and working on getting that up and going, and also working on the back end for payroll. This payroll the most recent payroll was difficult because it split 2 fiscal years, and then on top of that, a new wage was introduced at that time with the 4% mandatory increase to wages mandated by the legislature. So it's been a busy past couple of weeks trying to get past the old fiscal year, get everything paid out, and starting to open up the new fiscal year. We do have the new FY26 open in Genzabar, which is very good. So I'd like to thank Rochelle and the business office for that. I've been told that may be the earliest the new fiscal year has been open in quite some time now, so I'm happy to hear that. And with that, I sent for any questions.
So this is, you did say we spent all of the BR&R
We did.
money?
Yes, sir.
And this is all the HEP money we've spent for
Yes.
the year? And then our insurance, all of our repairs that the insurance is paying, we're gonna be finalized that pretty soon.
Correct. I'm hoping it's really quick. So again, specific, everything's kind of piecemeal together. They directly contracted for the interior work on the wind energy building, so we won't see no money, financials associated with that. They'll just pay the contractor directly. When it comes to the Dinosaur Museum, they're gonna cut us a check for that settlement for that building alone, and then we'll procure and find a contractor to do that.
That'd be great. Any other questions for Mr. Martinez? So the next would be, is the agreement for the attorney under you?
Yes, sir. So what I'll go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and call Mr. Najjar and put him on the speakerphone right now. And while I do that, I'll go over the professional service agreement. Did you have a chance to mail that out to the board?
I did.
Good, I have you on speakerphone. I'm gonna go ahead and present the professional service agreement exhibit real quick, and then feel free to introduce yourself and answer any questions that's any at the end if you don't mind.
Sounds great, thank you.
Thank you. So this item is the legal services, professional services agreement. It's not to exceed $10,000, including NMGRT for the entire fiscal year. The duration of the contract will be from now, effective today, if approved, through June of next year to complete the fiscal year. And the rest of the agreement is pretty much standard boilerplate language, legalities, whatnot. But it's pretty straightforward. So at this time, I stand for any questions. If you have any questions for me, if not, then I'd go ahead and let Jared introduce himself as well.
I would add, my mind's kind of racing, so Mark may have already touched on this, but, you know, our experience with Ms. Holcomb's office has not been bad, but she seems to be very limited on the areas that she is able or to help on. And we really need a more diverse firm to handle different things. Not that we have big issues going on, but we'd like to explore this area, so I'll leave it at that.
I thought it was new. Right, any questions, for Mr. Martinez or Mr.
Mr. Jared Najjar?
Najjar? All right, or Mr. Najjar.
Has this firm worked with other colleges?
Yes, and if you want, I could direct these questions to Jared himself. I am familiar with the firm. I worked with them as well when I was at the city. He also works with the Municipal League and also familiar with higher education institutions within the state of New Mexico. But yeah, I'll let him answer those questions if you want. Jared, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jared Najjar, and I wanted to start off by thanking you for this opportunity. Just to give you a brief background on my firm, we do have a general practice firm. We do a variety of transactional and litigation services. We represent municipalities, counties, state agencies, insurance companies, self-insured corporations, and also institutions of higher learning. We currently represent Santa Fe Community College, and we have for around about a decade now. And we are certainly aware of the issues that you encounter, and we're prepared. Our team has a lot of experience in a wide variety of areas of the law. So definitely looking forward to working with you, and please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions that you may have.
Okay, well, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Najjar? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement.
Second.
A motion and a second, roll call please.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
and Mr. Seaver,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Thank you, appreciate
Thank
you.
you. Looking forward to working with you. All right, next on the agenda is comments from trustees. Any comments, concerns? Not? I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I so moved that we go into executive session.
Second.
Okay, roll call please.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
and Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
entertain a motion to reconvene.
So made.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Primrose,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
and Mr. Box,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
All right, no action for executive session. No correspondence. Important dates, August 18th, fall semester begins.
That's not so far away.
No, it's not.
Tuesday,
Coming
next
up quick.
Tuesday, we have our,
Is it 2:00?
the special board meeting for the special audit report. So we,
What is that?
July 29th.
July 29th at 2:00
And that'll
Here.
be in the great room.
in the great room. Oh, yeah, that's what it says. So it's just, so we formally approve it, right?
Yeah, they'll probably do some presentation. I'm sure the state auditor will be here in person, plans to be, and he'll probably wanna speak. I invited, HED, our legislators. I also sent notices out to like the city and county, just if anybody wants to be here for it.
Yeah.
To might have that opportunity.
And then, August 19th, the day after the semester starts, we have our next board meeting. The ACC board training, I just wanted to mention, I did send a couple of emails that I received from ACCT. If y'all wanna look at it about, what's going on at the federal level. And, if there's not anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So made.
Second.
Motion is a second.
working?
No. Yes, yes.
Yes.
I put a new battery in it the other day.
Roll call, please.
Thank you. I'm worried about that clock.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
and Mr. Primrose.
Yes.